Hey everybody, welcome to Weekly Wednesdays with Julie. I'm Julie, and we have a wonderful group here tonight. And tonight's topic are actually a couple topics. One is I'm just going to go through. I'm going to go through the sequence of how you would want to potentially present to a motivated seller. And secondly, we're going to talk about for sale by owner options because these days, with properties getting so expensive, sometimes it makes good sense to sell your house yourself. And I can say firsthand, because I've bought property through Property Guys, and now I'm just in the midst of selling a property through Property Guys, that they are a fantastic company to go through when it comes to selling your house. And now is as good a time as any to announce digitally. I'm going to announce this live too at our next ORIG event that the Okanagan Real Estate Investment Group and me, the Street Smart Diva, real estate investment coach, have created a collaboration with Property Guys West Kelowna South. So Ian is probably going to correct me on how I said that, and that's perfectly fine because everybody has to remember that I'm new at this. I'm just getting my legs underneath me. But if you're interested in selling your house on your own and making more money, then you might want to look at Property Guys. And if you are in West Kelowna, all the way down to Soyuz, and we can even talk to people that are in Kelowna and help people out, we can. We have that option available because the Kelowna property guy is a great guy to work with. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. You might have questions, you might not. We're going to try to cover as much as we can, but we're going to talk about those two topics. Okay. So before I dive into how to present to a motivated seller, Ian, I want to introduce Ian Tomlin. So I've known Ian for a while. He has been an OREG member for, I think, going on 2 years. And when he was when he joined OREG, he was a cell phone guy. So he owned, I think, 6 cell phone stores. Very, very successful. I got to meet his lovely wife, Megan. And just from the get-go, I knew these were very, very good people. And fast forward about a year, uh, he comes up to me at one of the events and he says, I've bought the Property Guys franchise. And so I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And he's like, yeah, it's been interesting. And we had this conversation. And then fast forward a few more months, I got to talk to Megan and Ian about some other things. And then before you knew it, I just got inspired basically. I talk about God a lot lately, so everybody bear with me. And I just really feel like God was saying, you need to work with these people. They are good people, and they're going to help you get to where you want to go. And where I want to go is to help more and more and more people in real estate and real estate investment space. And so this program can really help people do that. So I'm so excited to have this collaboration going. I'm so excited to announce it. I'm excited to be working with such wonderful people. And Ian, I'm going to hand it over to you. If you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what attracted you to this business opportunity, that'd be great. I don't want to put you on the spot, but feel free.
Well, thank you. First of all, I guess I've got a little bit of a expectation to live up to after that introduction for sure. But yeah, I mean, we've been in business for a long time, and when we were looking at something else to do and what to take on next, this really resonated with me. With the cost of real estate sales being as much as they are, and people trying to keep as much money as they can, it really provided a place to bridge a gap. People can try to sell their homes themselves, and it's kind of a crapshoot. You list in some places, you don't have a lot of support. You may not know exactly what you're doing. You might, but it's kind of a little bit difficult to navigate, I guess, if you will. And then the other option is a real estate agent. So not that I mean, I love real estate agents and I think they serve a real purpose and we continue to want to work with them. But on the other side, I think what this does is it provides people an opportunity to be more involved in their home sale, more in control of their home sale, whether it comes to cost, whether it comes to how much support they want, whether it caught with just being involved all the way through it. And so I saw a real opportunity here, and I think it fills a niche. I think it's a portion. It's not for everybody. It's probably for most, but most people may not know that. But it definitely serves a purpose and it fills a niche. So when you came to me and said that you like the idea of navigating this together and of creating a collaboration, I mean, we jumped at that opportunity. We love what you do here. We've been a member of ORIG for a long time. We love the group. We love the people. We love advancing people through real estate. And we want to continue to do that with the other things we do in real estate as well. But this is one way that we can kind of leverage our relationships and hopefully help even more people out. So I'll let you get on with the next piece, but we'll come back around and answer any questions later on too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ian. This is great. Great summary. And I can't wait to touch on some of the things you just talked about. Um, okay, so in part of my world, I am a real estate investment coach. And Christine can speak to this. One of the things that I work with a lot of people on is finding motivated sellers, because motivated sellers typically need help. And real estate investors have a unique opportunity to be able to help people that need help, depending on their circumstances. And so a lot of times, people will say, "Oh my gosh, I want to invest in real estate and I want to help people and I want to find great deals." And quite honestly, what I have found to be the most rewarding way to invest in real estate has been to help motivated sellers. And so my coaching involves like having a whole pre-screening process on whether or not somebody's motivated and why. I've got calculators and all of this stuff is for free, but I work with these two tools with my coaching clients to help move them forward. And what comes up a lot is, well, how do I talk to a motivated seller? And I'm just going to tell you what I do, and I present to motivated sellers. I explain to them, hey, listen, you want to sell your house, and I want to help you find a solution. I want to help you find a solution. So what I want to do is I want to walk you through what I have in mind, and then you can decide whether or not it makes sense for us to work together. And so I'm kind of bypassing a lot of the components when it comes to motivated sellers and why people are motivated sellers. You're just going to have to trust me that they're out there. And I know that because I was one at one time. I had 100 really stinky condos up in Edmonton, Alberta, in terrible areas. 100, okay? And I couldn't give them away. I was a motivated seller. And it was a tough time to go through. And unfortunately, it ended up in bankruptcy, ended up in multiple foreclosures. And so, it goes back to, it's great to work with a motivated seller because sometimes you can help them avoid that kind of pain and expense and headache and heartache. Okay. And they're literally all around. They're all around Kelowna. They're all around Edmonton. They're all around Calgary. They're all around the world. All right. So basically what I'm going to show you is a presentation because I love presentations. You ask anybody that's been around me for a while, that's my jam. Okay. Because because it always goes in a specific sequence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a presentation that I actually put together to raise money with a joint venture partner. But I'm going to talk to you about how you can make the same kind of presentation and gear the information toward a motivated seller instead. So you're going to see joint venture information, and I'm going to talk about what you can replace that information with. So it's not actually a presentation to a motivated seller, but it's going to have a lot of information that will hopefully fill in the gaps. And then we'll move on to for sale by owner stuff. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to ask everybody to thumbs up me, please, if they see my screen. Okay, I see some thumbs. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm going to start at the beginning of the slideshow. So I'll also let you know that I have a course called Raising Money for Real Estate Deals. And what it includes in that course is this exact PowerPoint. This was a property that we almost bought on Ethel Street in Kelowna. So those you Okanagan people, you know where Ethel Street is. You might even know this house. You might even own this house. I don't know. And it was an example that I put together, and it's something that anybody that has access to the course, they can download. And I'm going to give this, I'm going to attach this everywhere that I send it out. Or if you can't see the attachment, then just reach out to me and I will send this out to you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through, um, again, it's a presentation for a joint venture partnership, but you just need to change the information out for a motivated seller. Okay. So in any presentation that I give, I usually have some kind of picture on the front. Okay. And I have what I'm looking for here with is a cash partner. So what I would say to a motivated seller is instead of deal proposal Ethel Street, I would say deal proposal offer to purchase or to purchase your house. I would say that instead. Then, like in all my presentations, I tell them what I'm gonna tell them. I say I'm gonna go over with you my credentials. I'm gonna talk to you about the numbers on the deal and what I propose. I'm going to talk to you about how it'll work. I'm going to give you some benefits to working with me. I'm going to also talk about some potential drawbacks that might happen. I'm going to ask you for a decision. And if we decide to work together, then I'm going to go over the next steps. And by the way, if we decide not to work together, I want you to know that it is 100% okay. You are not going to hurt my feelings. I'm a big girl. Okay. And that's what I say. And this is people appreciate it when you tell them what's about to happen because people hate to be sold to. And motivated sellers, they're probably vulnerable to begin with. So you want to be careful with people. You want to be careful with everybody. Motivated sellers are unique people though because they're usually fairly traumatized and they're probably scared and they're probably nervous and they don't want to be taken advantage of. So laying out, hey, this is what's going to happen is going to be good for everybody. So then you go over your team, like you said that you would, our credentials. Okay. I said our credentials is kind of the same thing as talking about team. So talk about myself and blah, blah, blah. And here I am. And these are all the things that I've done. To a motivated seller, I would say, so I say, yeah, I've done hundreds of deals and I rebuilt. Let me tell you what happened to me. I lost everything. I have been in your shoes. It sucked. So, as much as I hated going through that situation, I also see it as a blessing because since then I've been able to help dozens and dozens of people get out of sticky situations like the one I think you're in. Okay, then everybody's going to say, yeah, but I can't. Not everybody could say that, right? Not everybody's lucky enough to have 18 foreclosures on their credit bureau, you know. No, that's true. But you can introduce me as your team member. Listen, I can't say I necessarily know what's going on in your world, but I work with somebody. Her name's Julie. And this is to anybody, okay? Whether or not we're working together and coaching or not. If I can help somebody else out of a jam, I am more than happy to. I promise you that. So what you can say is, I may not know what you're going through, but I work with somebody who does. And here's what she went through. And so, if she can get, she helps people that are in tricky situations like yourself. And I've learned a lot from her. And she might even be able to have a conversation with you too on what we can do next. And she's on my team. Okay. And again, this was a joint venture. So this is Robinson. He's my teammate. And so for you, you'd want maybe a realtor teammate, a mortgage broker teammate. Maybe talk about the fact that you are a member of the OREG group or that you've taken certain kinds of training. You want to really build up, hey, listen, you should trust me because I've spent, $25,000 on real estate investment trading. I've done 3 deals, just depending on your experience, and also lean on your other team members like realtors and lawyers and mortgage brokers and appraisers. I mean, whoever is on your team, then lean on them and bring them up. So in this case, again, joint venture, this is my partner, Robinson, who's awesome. And I talk about Robinson. Here's all his experience. He's rezoned all this stuff. He's done so well. And again, you want to talk yourself up. This is another one of my team members. He's my husband. And I talk about why he's so awesome. Okay. So again, it goes back to that slide where it's like, hey, I'm going to talk to you about our credentials. This is why you might want to work with me. So yeah, it's like go on and on and on. And you might have tons of reasons why somebody should work with you instead of working with somebody else. Okay. So again, this is a joint venture presentation. So I'm talking about the property. So in this case, let's say I'm trying to buy this property from this 2311 Ethel Street person. Okay, this is your house, and here are some pictures, and thanks for providing the information to me and blah 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 blah. Like let's just confirm it's a 3 bedroom with a 2 bath. It's suitable. Yeah, it needs a little love, but it's in a great area. It's on a great street. It's on a large lot. Am I missing anything? Just like, hey, you have a decent opportunity here. And then like I said with the at the beginning of the presentation, the agenda, I'm going to go over some numbers. All right. So in a joint venture, I talk about, hey, this is what I'm going to do with the money. This is what I propose. This is what the money's going to look like. You're going to put 400 down and you're going to get a mortgage of $674,000. I go over the map again. I basically put together a proposal to the joint venture partner. Now, with a proposal to a motivated seller, what I would do at this point is I would say, I propose, let's say this house is worth $1.5 million, but the seller's super motivated and I think I can get it at a pretty deep discount. And I'm also being super upfront about the fact that I would like to make money, okay? Like you always have to include that in a conversation with a motivated seller. And they have to be okay with that, right? So I'm going to propose that maybe it's not worth 1.5, but maybe it would be worth 1.5 if somebody put like $150,000 into it. So I need to get it for a pretty good deal so I can either assign it or get a joint venture partner and put some work into it. But I've got to um, basically show the motivated seller why it might make sense for me to buy it from them at say a discounted price. So what I would do is I would say, okay, so again, let's use this example. If I buy it for $900,000 from you, and I know you talked about wanting a little bit more of it, but what'll end up happening if I buy it, if you end up listing it with a realtor, okay, and if you list it for $900,000, then here's what's going to happen. It may not sell right away, so you're going to have holding costs, and that's going to be this amount of money. You might have to do some repairs, paint, flooring, updating of all kinds of things. So that's going to be money out of pocket of about this much. When it sells, you're going to pay a realtor this much. So I'm adding up big chunks of money. The average time a property sits on the market these days, we're talking 2025 May in Kelowna. I think the average time to sell is around 90 days. So, depending on the time of where your economy is, where your real estate market is, you should be able to speak to that because that's 3 months of holding costs. If it takes that long, plus realtor fees, plus if you have to do renovations, plus you may have to lower your price in order to sell it more quickly. So you stack all of these expenses. It's like, hey, if you go with the realtor, this is what you're looking at. If you sell the house to me, and I'll do the best that I can to close very quickly within the next 6 weeks, then you'll get this price. You won't have holding costs because I promise to close on it as fast as I can. You won't have to do any repairs. So I'm saving you this. I'm saving you money on repairs. I'm saving you realtor costs and giving you the price that I think will work, at least on my end. So what you want to do is show them how much farther ahead they will be by working with you versus a realtor or versus even holding on, and continuing the pain. A lot of motivated sellers that I talk to are like one or two payments behind in their mortgage, and there is a point of no return if you get too behind on your mortgage payments. Uh, so again, if you can help somebody out of a jam and also, do well yourself, then that's the point of working with a motivated seller. It's not that anybody should work for free. It's always, hey, I want to help you. You need help. I'm probably going to try to make some money out of this. Do you have a problem with that? And if somebody does, then you know it's not a fit. Okay. But that's in the conversation before you present to them. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right. So this is where you would basically summarize, hey, this is what it's going to mean for you. So that's where you talk about the benefits. Okay, some of the benefits of working with me would be that this is going to happen quickly. You're going to have some certainty. You're going to be able to move on. I already went over all of the benefits of you not having to show the house, you not having to do any work to the house. I'm just going to take over things. And then you also need to talk about some of the drawbacks that could happen. It's like I could get down the road and this thing could fall apart. All kinds of things could happen in the next 6 weeks. Something terrible could happen to me. I just am going through something right now where we can't find somebody that we need, we need to find. And the last text that he sent to somebody was that he was in the emergency room. Okay, so that kind of thing can happen. It's not like there isn't any risk involved. And this is also where I would bring up, hey, listen, I could buy it for this price from you, and you could hear from a neighbor a year from now that the property next door sold for $100,000 more. So, are you going to be upset if that happens? Let's talk about that right now because I don't want to show up in the newspaper as some kind of a predator. All right. So, like, this is where you talk about the things that people don't like to talk about. All right. So, definitely, you talk about risks, you talk about benefits, and then you just review the summary. So in this case, a joint venture partnership with the numbers. You again summarize all of those numbers and say, okay, we work together now. You save this much money, or you wait and you try with a realtor later, and you're looking at this. So at the end of the day, this is what I am offering you, and this is what I'd like to do as far as making an official offer to purchase your house. And at this point, do you have any questions for me? And this is where the seller could have all kinds of questions. It could take an hour. Or they could say, no, I think it's pretty clear. It sounds like you're going to get this house off my hands. Yeah, pretty much. So any other questions? And again, who knows? I need to check with my uncle. I don't know if I should sell. I don't know. All kinds of things could come up. Okay, this is the any questions slide or portion of the presentation is always you never know. A lot of times when I'm presenting, people don't have any questions, and it might be because I overwhelm them with all kinds of slides or pictures or whatever it is. But a lot of times, at least I do my best to be as clear as I can be. And then I go to everybody. I hope everybody here has heard me say this before because it works all the time. I really only have one question for you, and that is there any reason you would not want to move forward with this deal? And that's where the motivated seller might say, no, there's no reason. Let's do this. Let's get it done. Or they might bring up 10 other things that they have on their mind. That happens too. Okay. But let's just say for giggles, kicks and giggles, that they're just like, no. Okay, awesome. Well, I just need to go over the next steps. What we have to do, or either way, thank you. So if they're not a fit, great. Thank you for spending time with me. Now you know if things change, just let me know. Or no, this looks good. Our bags are packed. Take my house. That happens, folks. Let me tell you, it happens. If they want to move forward, then you need to go over the next steps, and that it includes paperwork. It includes, yes, I'm going to put an offer on your house. Uh, you're going to need to get a lawyer. I'm going to use my own lawyer. I'm going to help you out as best as possible. I'm going to walk you through the terms. Um, things are going to get really exciting for a little while because I might have the place inspected or appraised or this, that, and the other thing. Okay, but this is where you go through the next steps, and the person needs to stay on high alert. They need to be available. And I have really bad news for everybody. Anybody that's watching this, sometimes this is where the motivated seller gets cold feet and then they ghost and it happens. It does happen. Okay. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't happen. Or they talk to their uncle. Usually it's an uncle. I don't know why, or a brother-in-law. Nah, he told me I shouldn't do that. Oh, I couldn't sleep last night. I think we're going to wait. Oh, all kinds of things can happen. All right. And sometimes the person cannot wait to talk to you. They will sign whatever you put in front of them. And you've got to be really careful there because you need to protect people need to be protected no matter how much trouble they're in. So you need to really, really handle people well in these kind of scenarios. So essentially that's a version of all the things that you can include in presenting to a motivated seller. And so I'm going to put something together that's a little more formal and actually filled out with with kind of a pretend scenario. Actually, I'll probably use a scenario that I have used in the past as kind of a case study. But I think all of you are picking up what I'm putting down. At least I hope so. Does anybody have any questions before I move on? And if you don't worry. I won't be mad. No, everybody good? Got more thumbs? Let's move on. Okay, fantastic. So, property guys, for sale by owner. Now, before I move on to all of this, I had so much fun making phone calls to realtors about this property. I'm going to talk about a couple things with realtors. I'm going to tell, oh, no, I'll tell you about this in a minute. When it comes to realtors, I want everybody to know I love realtors, and you can ask all the realtors that I've ever worked with, including, but not limited to, Cheryl Matisse, Dave Alton, Art Bidlewski, Chris Blake, AJ Hazy, Marcel Goldstein, Aaron Brockovich. Uh, we have a commercial realtor, and I forget her name, but she's with HM Commercial. You can call any of these people and you can ask them how much money they have made working with me. I give you full permission to do that. So there's nobody that can question whether or not I love realtors. There's absolutely a place for realtors most of the time. In fact, most of the time. And so I'll just share with you my story. We have a number of properties, and we have this one property, and the tenants left. And we've had a tricky time with this property in the last 2 years because financing has become really, really difficult. And it's needed refinancing since the day we bought it. And it was also very rentable. We had the most fantastic people and also like 100 people wanting to rent our house. These awesome people moved in. They were a mom and her two adult boys and one of the boys' men, sorry, one of the men's girlfriend. Okay, so these four adults all working full time, and they had a couple of dogs. And they were like, oh my gosh, we're going to stay here forever. We're never going to move. Oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. And I'm like, awesome. Yeah, you guys just stay as long as you want. Well, I told them we may be building like something like what's across the street, but we don't think that's going to happen for a while. So just make yourselves comfortable. 3 years goes by and they text me and they have got a seal of a deal up in the cusp, British Columbia, which is like the boonies. I think they got a house just like the house they were renting for me for $200,000. So it's like, yeah, go. I get it. I totally get it. But it came up vacant. That's the best time to try to sell a property. So we call our realtor. We call one of our realtors, and this realtor uh, got everything all set up and gave us an idea of price. And we thought we were super ready to rock and roll. And at the same time, so this was a few months ago, at the same time, the market is pretty flat. Um, there's a lot of property listed. And unfortunately, quite a few properties sitting listed uh, on the MLS and have been sitting for a while. So that's the market that we're in. And we knew that. And at the same time, just I've got high expectations. I do. I gave you a list, a laundry list, list as long as my arm of realtors that I've worked with. And I didn't even talk to you about my Edmonton realtors. Uh, so yeah, I've got high expectations. And after 2 weeks, I was like, okay, what's happening? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. And um, we got a uh, we had a meeting and a summary of everything that had been done to help sell the house. And I'm like, how many phone calls have you made? Uh, and this person is just kind of like, whoa, I've called all the developers, and I'm like, okay, how many more? No, well, it just doesn't work that way. I'm like, no, okay, all right. Don't you think that this market requires a little more? That's what I said. I don't like saying it. I don't like saying it. I'm a nice person, and I just do. I have expectations. Um, so unfortunately, a week later, things hadn't really changed, and it was a tough decision. And I talked to Ian in the meantime, and I'm like, I think number one, I think I want to work with you guys. So, and I got this house for sale, so let's just throw it on property, guys. So I had to have this super uncomfortable conversation with this realtor who I love and I've worked with, and he's done well. We've both done very, very well together. Make no mistake. And I totally recommend this realtor. Totally. That said, the realtor had a lot of listings, and it's kind of like having a lot of kids, but one kid needs the extra attention, so everybody else suffers. So it might have been unreasonable for me to expect more. So what ends up happening is it's kind of like the serenity prayer. If you haven't heard the serenity prayer, this is what addicts, they go to their meetings and they always say the serenity prayer, and it goes something like this. I may not be getting it right. It says, Lord, grant me the strength to change the things. Oh, sorry. The courage to accept the things I cannot change, to the strength to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right. So I'm not going to control this realtor and what this realtor does all day long, and whether and how many people my house gets shown to or talked about. Um, but I can sell it myself and see if my way works. Because in all honesty, I don't know. I really didn't know whether or not it was going to work, but I got to try because that's something I can control. So got signed up with Property Guys, really pretty easy. A lot, I'm learning a lot as I go along. And before you know it, it's listed on the MLS. It's got a beautiful listing on the Property Guys website. And on top of that, I got an appraisal with my property. Like it's included. So you pay an upfront fee, and actually there's options to do it without any money down, through some financing. But you pay an upfront fee. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense because it's a heck of a lot less than selling through a realtor. It just is. So we get going on that, and I went after this hard because I'm kind of weird that way. But I got on the phone and I called every realtor that I knew. I called a whole bunch that I didn't know, and I sent out, a few thousand emails. I did all these Facebook posts, and within 2 weeks we had an offer. And it saved us. It's still conditional right now, but slated to close on the soon. And at the end of the day, it's going to save me around $20,000 plus expensive holding costs, plus headaches because it's vacant. And so we got to be in and out of there, checking it, making sure everything's okay, plus worry. And the thing is, I just feel in control on top of that. It's like I can control whether or not I make 100 phone calls a day. I'm not going to control whether or not the realtor does. Plain and simple. And so it's been a really great experience so far. And I'm excited to do it again. And I'm excited to tell more people about it because when properties are $1 million plus, which they are in the region, you're looking at $40,000, $45,000 in realtor fees. And that's not a lot of money for some people. It is a lot of money for Julie Hoffman. And so that's where I'm at with it. And I'm so excited. And I will absolutely use realtors again. I'm 100% confident that I will. Uh, I mean, absolutely no question. Oh, and on top of that, a realtor, because I was able to work it into the math, okay, and not everybody does this. Not every person that sells through Property Guys does this, but you can offer a commission to realtors. And I did. And guess who brought me an offer? A realtor. So this realtor is getting paid. And I explained that to every realtor that I talked to, which was a lot of realtors. So this is where I want to tell you the funny part. Well, I guess my summary is like it can definitely work. Um, it worked well for me in a pretty slow market. And I'm excited to share with more and more people. And maybe one of you or somebody listening to this or watching this has somebody in your life that is like they should call. Yeah, maybe they should call Property Girls. Give us a call. Reach out to me. Reach out to Ian, and just we'll have a conversation. See if it might be a fit. Might not be. That's okay too. Okay. But I will say this. It was so much fun making these phone calls because um what I would do is I'd get on the phone and the realtor would pick up. By the way, it's the best time to call realtors in a really slow market because nobody's selling anything and it's like a dried up riverbed. So all the realtors are picking up because hey, that could be business. This could be a buyer. This could be another listing. This could be this, that, and the other thing, right? So almost everybody picked up. And I would say to all of them, I want to tell you about a house that I have for sale. Now, this is going to make you really mad. I have decided to list with Property Guys and sell it myself. But before you hang up on me, I would always say, before you hang up on me, and I would say it just like that, and everybody laughed. It was so much fun. It just lightened the mood. Hey, let me tell you about it. I emailed everybody the details, sent out links, hustled. I did. I hustled because this market calls for it. Um, and yeah, so it can be a lot of fun. Some people are so intimidated to sell their house, and I get it. Yes, I've done a lot of real estate, so I do have this unfair advantage. That said, I know it can be easy, and I know definitely that anybody that's thinking about doing it will get a lot of support from myself and Ian and Megan because yeah, because this is like Ian said, a what did you say? It was like it's like filling a need. There's a need for this in the market right now. So, did I leave anything out, Ian? after all these
From
conversations that we've had.
from your point of view, no. I mean, the thing is that I mean, obviously, to compare normal private sellers to Julie is kind of like comparing a kitty cat to a lion. So we
Now,
don't want to be doing that all the way through, but you definitely took it to the nth degree and did very, very well. But the part that you said is the support piece, and that's the part that really is brought to the table with what we offer. The thing is that, people might be scared or uncertain or what is selling a home by themselves and what are those other pieces. And the truth is that if you are trying it on your own, you have to fumble your way through it. And if you're an expert like you, well, then you'll do what you did and you'll sell the home in under 2 weeks. But the advantage to property guys is that there's somewhere in the middle. There
mhm,
is a support team. There's a call center. We handle the bookings. There's lawyers. We handle the paperwork. We handle the offers. There's pricing structures, which you already saw with the appraisal that's included. The pieces that you can get that are most of the things because you don't get agency like you do with a realtor, and we can all talk about what that means down the road. But the bottom line is that support structure is there. So what this does is it allows people to sell the homes themselves, but to have all the support, maybe even more support than they might get otherwise, with a real estate agent. And that just depends on the situation. Because in the end, we want real estate agents. We love them. We have them show our homes. We make sure that we offer some sort of a commission as reasonable as possible, so that there's something for them. Because that if you no one wants to work for free, why is someone going to show your house for nothing? So when you position it all in the right way and make it make sense and help people and support them, it fills that niche. It provides options, it provides control, and I love it. I think it's a great other option.
yeah, yeah, I agree. And the sport has been great. And I fumbled plenty. I was talking to Ian today. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go do that to do that. Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, it's like learning a new skill. And I bought a house through Property Guys, and I know the lady that I bought it from, she saved like $60,000. And that helped her. I think she was gonna, put a pool in her new house up in Salmon Arm for her grandkids with that money. So it makes sense for some. It does, I would say it makes sense for everyone, really. And at the same time, some people just want to hand it off. And we get that. And also, like I can't overemphasize enough that you can still make it worthwhile for a realtor to be involved. And certainly none of us want to take food off of anybody's plate here. So, um, we covered a lot of ground. Wow, 45 minutes. I thought it might take an hour, but I think we covered a lot of ground. Ladies, do you have any questions? And if you don't, that's okay.
I have a question. So I'm on the propertyguys.com, and I see that there's a house in Ottawa. So who is the person selling the house? Is it someone like you?
Yeah,
So
it's
the
a
per the
private
person
seller.
is
Sorry.
it's actually the seller.
Okay.
So I guess sorry I cut you off there, Julie, but in the end it'd be Julie selling the house.
Yeah.
So when you go on propertyguys.com, it's listed by Julie. She'll be listed on MLS. She'll have a mirror posting so that you can see it on MLS.
Yeah.
She'll have it so you can see it on propertyguys.com. But when you go on that house and you click it and it says contact seller,
Yeah.
then that's going to send a message to Julie. And then Julie's going to work with the showing. She's going to work with showing the house. And she's going to handle all of the transaction from there because it's her on the other end.
Mhm.
Okay. And Julie, do you have a real estate license? How does it work?
So I do not have a real estate license. I am just a, I'm a real estate investor, and I'm
Okay.
also
Yeah.
what I like to call a civilian. I just own the property myself.
Yeah.
It's in my company's name, but I'm not a realtor. I'm just a private seller.
Okay.
So this house you're looking at in Ottawa is likely somebody just like me who
Yeah.
wants to sell their house on their own.
Okay, I've never heard of that before. That's interesting. Okay, yeah. Okay, I've heard about the proprio. I don't know if you heard about that.
Um,
The
Which which
the
one's that?
the proprio. It's in Quebec. So
oh,
the homeowner sells the house themselves. So I think they have to pay maybe $1,000 or I don't know, maybe more to the company. But essentially they manage everything themselves, the open houses, the visit, the viewing, everything. So I've heard about that before, but I've never heard about that service, which is good because myself I'm a mortgage agent and I have a few clients. They want to sell their home, but they don't want to hire realtors because of the fees and and the market is slow as well in Ottawa. It takes a long time now to sell, about 3 to 6 months.
mhm.
And so this is why I joined this event because of that. But it's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that question because the thing is that so the one you're thinking of, those exist. So Property Guys is the longest running for sale by owner entity in Canada. So it's been going for over 25 years, actually over 26 years now.
Okay.
And there are no frills, low, like what you're talking about. There are those out there, so they don't have the same support model. So
Yeah.
those are kind of a just the least expensive. But like you say, not only do they do everything else, do everything yourself, there's really
Yeah.
no support.
Yeah.
Property Guys is in the middle. So Property Guys still offers the same things those do, but with
Yeah.
a full support model. So it includes advertising, it includes
Yeah.
legal support. That it's all part of the package. And so it's a more hands-on, more helping that seller out. So it's basically everything a real estate agent does, but without the real estate license part.
Yeah. I see. This is interesting. Okay. Thank you.
And if you ever did want to reach out to us or reach out to Julie, I know all the other Property Guys franchise owners across the country, so I'm happy to introduce you to. So if you knew somebody and
Yes.
you wanted to get some information, we can
Yeah.
do that. You can reach out to Julie and we can connect you to.
Sure. I would love that. Thank you.
Be great.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks.
Oh, good. Great questions. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Could my big green cup be any bigger? Big as my head.
Is
Crazy.
it coffee or
It's just
water?
it's just water.
Okay, because coffee is a bit late for coffee, right?
Big coffee. Yeah. It's almost as much coffee I drink in a day. I drink a little more than that actually.
We're
Um,
3 hours behind you though, Fallon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I worked until 5:30. Then I did because full time I work for the government of Canada,
wow.
and part time. Well, I kind of do both full time. So I was exhausted, and I took a nap, and my alarm rang for this event. So this is why I was late at first, and yeah. So I'm gonna be going to bed in about maybe 2 3 hours. It's only 10 now, so I'm wide awake.
By 10 o'clock, I'm gone.
Yeah, yeah. Usually I am too, but because I took a nap, now I'm awake. So and
There you go.
I work from home, so
Okay.
it's easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But thank you
Awesome.
so much for the this event. This was great, and I will definitely keep you in mind. And if I have any questions, I will keep you in mind so you can connect me to the right person. Okay, okay. Do you guys also, probably you guys also deal with clients in Quebec or only in Ontario, BC?
I will have to double check. I know in Ontario they do.
Yeah,
I don't know because I know that in Saskatchewan it really isn't.
yeah,
And so I'd have to double check in Quebec because I know there's a couple guys in Ontario or in the Ottawa side that do that do sort of cross over, but I'd
yeah.
have to double check for you on that.
Okay, thanks. Because well, I'm a mortgage agent, like I said, and I'm licensed in Ontario, but I live in Quebec. But I have a lot of clients in Quebec and also in Ontario, so I just wanted to know if you will be valuable also for my Quebec clients.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, anything else to add before we hop off, folks?
Well, this was
No, it
great.
was
Really, thanks,
great.
guys.
Yeah, it was really great. Thank you so much. I really
Yeah.
loved the presentation. I took some notes just for my business as well. If I meet clients, just some of the things that you added on your presentation that I can kind of use for my own business as well. It was great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. That's the presentation for anything you want to sell.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's
believe it or
great.
not, when you're buying from a motivated seller, you are selling to them on agreeing to let you buy the house for a certain price, really.
Yeah,
It's sales, right? So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, so that's great. Everybody keep a lookout around here for a link that'll give you access to this presentation that I just went through. It's
yeah,
actually part of my Raising Money for Real Estate course. So if you want more information on that course, that's great. But in the meantime, take the presentation and use it for whatever you need, whatever you're selling. You can take the format and just change it over to what you want.
yeah.
And if you use it for motivated sellers, even better, because that's what tonight was about. So we will have another weekly Wednesday in a week. So that's the 26th of May. I do not know what the topic is going to be. So that's okay. Surprises are fun, right? And we'll go from there. So thanks again for being here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thanks,
evening.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, Julie.